Hello, everyone. So I will now talk about continuous semantic integration. So as Filippo already mentions, one of the aims in SmartEdge project is to realize edge intelligence with swarms. And continuous semantic integration just comes as a prerequisite for this aim. So we want to develop here the infrastructure to enable edge intelligence with swarms. So the hypothesis is that we've got like quite many heterogeneous IoT devices, which are swarm nodes there, and in different domains. As Filippo mentioned, we have so 5 different use cases or 6 different use cases. And now these heterogeneous IoT devices, they took different, they exchange data with different protocols. The data is encoded in different formats under different semantics. And we want to enable so low-code swarm applications that are easily created. So which means like we need first to integrate this data from these connected devices. So from that point of view, so we have to essentially accomplish three tasks, as you can see here on the left-hand side. And these are so edge semantics and interfaces that we want to establish with standardized semantic interfaces. I will show one slide what that means. Then also we want to enable data ops toolbox. So some of these nodes actually change over time, and we need to realize data integration or also for these dynamic nodes. And then finally, we want to provide low-code app tool chain for creating and orchestrating swarm apps. So so we want a solution which is a standard base in SmartEdge project. So we rely on 2 standards, W3C Web of Things standard and OPC UA standard. So we develop information models, as you can see here, a SmartEdge schema, recipe model, and so model for describing devices. I will not go into details of these semantic models, but essentially, so they are conform with these 2 standards. And since we use these 2 standards, we also then need to enable infrastructure to support description for our IoT devices with these 2 standards. So knowledge graph repository is being created here. Here we extend the open source theme description directory that Siemens is already provided here with a link below. And we want in SmartEdge to extend this repository to be also able to accommodate OPC UA descriptions for devices. And we provide a RESTful interface for discovering semantic artifacts from this knowledge graph. And this infrastructure then should be later used by our low-code tool chain when we are doing the matchmaking of capabilities that are required for certain low-code apps with the skills that are possessed with a certain IoT devices or swarm nodes. So and then, as I also mentioned, so we need to provide a unified interfaces. So on the lower level here, you see devices, as I said, from different domains, talking different protocols. So you see like here OPC UA protocol, then MQTT, DDS, and so on and so forth. These different communication protocols we want to unify over middleware. Here we are using the open source solution Zeno. And then we provide also the semantics layer where we then are able to use certain ontologies domain-specific ontologies that we use to kind of like enrich device descriptions over this unified API, and then finally we can enable low-code services and applications in the upper level. Yeah, so now a few words about Data Ops Toolbox. So one of the requirements in the project also is to enable interoperability between heterogeneous swarm nodes. And so we need a means to mediate data exchanges between these swarm nodes. For this purpose, we are developing a data ops pipeline, which provides a declarative approach to realize interoperability between heterogeneous swarm nodes. And so below there is a figure which kind of sketches the solution where, so for example, we are able to very quickly define pipelines which can, for example, realize the mediation between one swarm node talking one serialization format with this one semantics into another serialization format under different semantics, and possibly then with a common ontology which kind of like, let's say, integrates the semantics of these two different nodes. So this Data Ops Toolbox is also implemented here with open source solution Chimera. The link you can see below. So we are extending this open source project with the development here in SmartEdge, and this open source project is also using other open source components, as you can see here, for example, Apache, Camel, and others. So then a third pillar of this work is a low-code app tool chain. So there, the developer of a Swarm app comes with the requirements and uses our tool chain to easily create a new application or to use an existing recipe and then to instantiate this recipe for her own application. And so we have a semantic representation of these recipes, which are also stored in the same knowledge graph repository that I already mentioned. So we enable discovery of these recipes, and then the process of matchmaking the requirements for chosen recipes with the capabilities or skills of available swarm nodes or devices. And after this matchmaking process is fulfilled, then the set of devices or swarms can actually start collaborating and working on the execution of the task as prescribed by the recipe. And here we rely on the low-code Mendix tool, which I show here, the link. And so just to give you the feeling now how all these different building blocks work together in one use case. So for example, in an industry scenario, we want to provide a customized production where a new product is easily created just by configuring a recipe in a low-code manner. So here, this sort of recipe is sketched, or semantic specification for a new product is sketched here in this part. So this specification is backed, of course, with a semantic model, but based on this specification, so we are able to create a low-code workflow in our tool chain, and then also to execute this workflow on a real hardware on a production station, and then a new product which is here sketched is being manufactured, and yeah, the whole thing should really happen within a few minutes. So I hope I gave you like a very quick impression about one war package of SmartEdge, and namely one which is about semantic data integration and then the use throughout a local toolchain. So thank you.